Hey everybody, it is Jim McGuinn for Teenage Kicks, Saturday mornings, 8 to 10, right here on The Current. And this week, we are going to commemorate, it was a moment in pop history in the mid-1980s. The band Tears for Fears, Kurt Smith, Roland Orzabal, they had been in a kind of like a mod punk band called Graduate in the late 70s into the early 80s. That didn't really work, so then they kind of shifted with the changing times, bought some synthesizers, maybe gelled the hair up a little bit, put on their best sort of Brian Ferry affectation meets Robert Smith, and created Tears for Fears. They had an amazing first record called The Hurting, which I remember being a huge college radio hit even in the States. But they followed it up with a really big pop breakthrough in 1985 called Songs from the Big Chair. And it had a couple of huge songs on it. You might remember Shout. But the reason we're featuring this week is because this week, back in 85, the song Everybody Wants to Rule the World hit #1 on the US charts. So it was like life imitating art, imitating life, because they literally were ruling the world for those 2 weeks. Now, they had a couple of hits after Songs from the Big Chair, but then they kind of broke up, then they got back together, then they toured with Hall & Oates. They're still making music, they're still touring, they're still a pretty great band, really talented group, and Kurt and Roland, I'm glad they're back getting along, because there was a little period in the middle where they weren't friends and all that, but now they're touring again, and so we pay tribute to Tears for Fears, one of those classic bands from the 1980s, this week on Teenage Kicks. Acting on your best behavior, turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. And for those 2 weeks in 1985, Tears for Fears did rule the world. We'll hear that, and we'll hear other songs from that band this week on Teenage Kicks. A G6th to a D major 7. There we go.